Okay, so here's the thing. If I ask you to draw your life, a complete picture of your visualization, your goals, dreams, bucket lists, everything, among a paintbrush or a pencil, what tool are you going to use to do it? This is the question Ashish Jaiswal put up in his book as we flip the initial pages. We'll discuss the philosophy later in the video, but first, let's take a brief look at the book. Starting off with the title, Visionary Thinking, as we know, literally means having a vision, a plan for the future. But author Ashish has a different perspective. He has not only defined the word, but also has opened a new portal for new dimensional thinking. In the author's universe, it's not necessary that a person who's so-called a successful person would be considered a visionary. He explained this using real-life case studies, hypotheses, allegories from different real-life events, and he's also free in sharing his personal life experiences. The first chapter of the book challenges Elon's thoughts on Elon Musk, but he considers him to be a visionary. I think he has beaten the odds. I think he's a visionary. This remark was made on Elon's idea of nuking Mars. Elon's vision on colonizing Mars is no secret. He wants to nuke Mars to create the red planet livable for humans. By heating the greenhouse gases, this would raise the temperature and the air pressure of the planet and create a possibility of climate change. He once put this idea on Twitter and then sparked a trend on social media. He even monetized this trend by launching his Nuke Mars t-shirt, which made quite a good sale and filled his pockets with quite a sum. We clearly understand that Elon can make money out of anything, but is he a visionary? In 1947, John B. Calhoun conducted an experiment where he studied an enclosed group of Norway rats. He played the god here and supplied the critters with unlimited food and water. He expected to see their population swell. This utopian world was large enough to house 5,000 individuals. As predicted, the population rose too rapidly, but once reached 150 rats, the population showed a rather irrational behavior. The rats became too violent, attacking the weaker ones, including the females and even children. An ample supply of everything could not keep alive even the urge to reproduce. Shockingly, instead of plateauing at a certain number, the population of Rat Utopia reached extinction. He repeated the experiment again and again with bigger and bigger universe with better supplied but failed again and again. In 1972, Calhoun repeated the experiment and this time he created an even bigger universe. This was a mice metropolis with healthiest mice population. He named the world Universe 25. This time too the result was same. Violence from the males was visible. Many became lost souls and withdrew themselves from social or physical interaction of any kind. The one who made families vented out their stresses on their children. It took less than 2 years before the last mouse of Universe 25 was born. One of the side outcomes was a collapse of sorts in social equilibrium. The mice were unable to handle the stresses of enhanced society, scrutiny, and eventually lost their self-esteem and even sense of purpose. Ashish draws parallels with Universe 25 in our current world, which thrives on social media. He compares it with the big birds like Facebook. But his vision to create a complete virtual society shows the uncanny side of his vision. The virtual world seems mere stimulation to trigger dopamine in one's body and seems no different than the Universe 25. For Elon's being a visionary debate, the author had just dropped Elon's words and left it on the reader. If there was a way that I could not eat so I could work more, I would not eat. I wish there was a way to get nutrients without sitting down for a meal. So what makes a visionary? According to Ashish, any person can acquire visionary thinking just by some minor changes in his life. And in the first part of the book, he has mentioned the key qualities of visionary thinking and also mentioned the ways to practice them. We wouldn't be discussing all of them as it would create spoilers for my dear readers. But let's take a look at some of them. One of the qualities that we are going to discuss in the video is sketch thinking. Remember the question I put up in the starting of the video? I asked to choose between a pencil or a paintbrush for drawing a life on a canvas. According to the author, a paintbrush represents fixed path and rigid life goals. Something painted using a paintbrush cannot be modified or erased. On the other hand, a pencil represents flexible paths. One can easily modify a sketch drawn from a pencil. We often see people in our lives entangled with routine, having fixed paths and goals. They reach a certain level, and here comes the saturation. The author's philosophy is rather on the flexible side. He wants us to become more like a pencil. A pencil could behave perfectly when it comes to drawing, like a paintbrush. The problem with using a paintbrush is that it closes the door for adaptation. Author's theory reminded me of my favorite childhood cartoon, Ben 10. Ben, using his omnitrix, would adapt according to his need. He would fight villains by taking out thoughts accordingly. This made him stand out. The concept of sketch and brush thinking sprouted in author's mind when he had to once diverge from his favorite restaurant, as it was crowded with a lot of customers, and he did not want to wait that long. The uniqueness of his favorite restaurant was that it did not have any fixed menu. The menu would change daily, as the owners would just erase it and then end it with a new food list. When he visited the replacement of the restaurant, he found out that it was almost empty, and all the customers preferred the restaurant, which was author's favorite. He realized the menu did not change here, but is stuck with the same one since a long time. The restaurant, which managed to show change, became flexible and created a lot of profit, as it was visited by a lot of customers. But rigid restaurant, which was hesitant to change according to the market's demand, could not keep his head anywhere near the adaptable restaurant. This explains the need of adaptability and change in one's life. The author wants us to choose the pencil to draw a life. The use of a simple language makes it a comfortable read for beginners. Something I personally liked about Ashish's writing is that he cherry-picks philosophy from ancient ideas and interwove them with the modern philosophies consisting of data and proven facts. If you've read his previous work, Fluid, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Let's look at an example with these books. On the left of the screen, there are books consisting of older or ancient ideas. These books are amazing and admire them, no doubt. And here are some books on the right side. These books consist of facts and detailed analysis for portraying certain philosophies. But Ashish's work cannot be put in either of these, and he has his unique view where the best part of an idea is considered. This makes him free to use mythology as well as scientific approach, which inspires the reader to learn from everything. Disclosing the mysteries of the book in this video would be injustice for the book. So we'll not be discussing all the concepts here, and I want you to read the book and share your experience with me. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching and keep reading.